Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Forecast Update Live, a video series from EverAg Insights, where each month we gather to discuss our dairy market forecast. I'm your host, John Spainhour. We're joined today by Erica Medke, Matt Gould, and Phil Plour. To get us started, Erica, please run through the highlights of this month's forecast compared to last month's.
Good afternoon, John. It's a pleasure to be here again. The forecast, some tweaks to both Class 3 and Class 4. So in the cheese space, the block numbers are down a penny for 2025, although there's a tweak in the shape of the curve, a little bit higher in the front, lower in the back, especially on blocks. Barrels are taking a bit of a valley through the middle part of the year. Class 4 space, that's definitely a big boost. We're seeing a gain of 8 cents in both butter and non-fat.
Thank you, Erica. Okay, every month we ask our panelists to take either the bull side of the story or the bear side of the story. This month, Erica's agreed to take the bull side of the story. Erica, take it away and let us know what you're seeing out there.
Thanks, John. So again, to segue from our forecast numbers, seeing butter and powder up as much as they are, really that comes back to less milk and less components. And December numbers for milk supply here in the United States down 1%. If that trend continues, now part of that is avian influenza. We hope that isn't a trend that's ongoing and that is dealt with quickly. But underlying that is also just an ongoing, are we going to see milk come, particularly with the new capacity? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get shorted a little bit? Certainly you take a little bit less milk here in the United States, a pull from the new cheese plants, and there's definitely going to be some more tightness in that class 4 in the balancing capacity. The other thing to keep in mind from a demand perspective, I would like to look at the glasses half full and see that the demand numbers are still positive. And as we look at week-to-week sales, the holidays were pretty decent. We'll see how the Christmas numbers and New Year's numbers come in. We still have that cheese holiday of the Super Bowl coming in February. So we might see some additional demand come through for cheese. But I would say I still count that as bullish and fairly positive, especially when you add in the likelihood of exports leaving the United States in that demand category.
Thanks, Erica. Okay, Matt, you've agreed to take the bear side of the story. Take it away and let us know what you're seeing out there.
Hopefully I can pick up where Erica left off because, I want to start with milk supply, and just the reality of the situation is that California was beaten very badly by bird flu in November. Total milk production was down nearly 10% there. I don't think I've seen a number like that in my lifetime. But to put that in perspective, if we remove California from the equation, then total U.S. milk production would have increased by 0.8%. So we would have been growing. And so, another way to put that is that as we recover from this bird flu situation in California, I think the data says, well, we don't have enough milk today, but as we get deeper into next year, more is coming. And certainly there needs to be more milk coming because the story is that we have cheese plants next year. I think we have cheese plants across 5 states ramping up. And with that kind of growth in supply, we're going to need just phenomenal domestic demand to keep us in balance. And as things are shaping out, I don't think we have phenomenal domestic demand, which leaves us in a situation where we're extremely dependent on exports next year. Now you throw in a wrinkle of trade policy that's going to be shifting back to the negotiating table, and with more supply coming at us, a domestic demand environment that's not amazing, and just some risk on the export front, I think that paints a pretty price negative picture next year.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you again, Erica. Okay, every month, Phil brings to us what he refers to as his favorite look. And I know it's certainly grown to become my favorite look. Phil, I'm excited to see what you brought to the table this month.
Thanks, John. And what I'm bringing to the table this month actually comes from a thought that Matt had and some research he did around restaurant growth. And the U.S. restaurant industry has been kind of chopping along this year, struggling. And it's really mature in a lot of ways. That doesn't mean they're going to go away or retreat necessarily. When you look at the U.S. major restaurant chains in the United States, especially those that use a lot of cheese, they're not growing much in the U.S. They're growing hugely internationally. And so the look that we put together this one shows the year-over-year change in the number of outlets, net outlets, for McDonald's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, and Papa John's, what they've done in the past year in the U.S. versus internationally. And in the U.S., those combined, those 4 chains, added 193 outlets over the past year, whereas outside the United States, they've added more than 2,700. And so lots of growth outside the United States. And I think this is intriguing for a couple of reasons. We need to export more as we add more capacity for cheese without understanding all the supply chains around this. I don't think it can be a bad thing for US cheese exporters that the same customers that we have here in the US for a lot of cheese are the same customers that are growing internationally. And so, as a conduit for export sales going forward, well, yeah, maybe it's a bummer that the US growth is not going to be what it was. There's still a lot of opportunity internationally, and that's pretty important. So it's a great look that Matt put together. 2,700 new outlets: McDonald's, Papa John's, Domino's, and Pizza Hut outside the United States over the past year. So that's the look this month.
Thanks, Phil. I really appreciate it, as always, and look forward to seeing what you bring next month. Okay, that'll do it for this month's episode of Forecast Update Live. Thanks to all of our panelists. Thank you to everyone on the EverAg Insights team for their work on the forecast, and thank you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you don't receive our forecast update and would like to subscribe, please reach out via email at insights@ever.ag. If you like this video, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, and share us with a friend. We'll see you next month for another edition of Forecast Update Live.